Okay, there's certain things you should have in your car when you go on a trip or even just daily use of your car, especially if you have an older car that's problematic. Um, okay, one of the first things you want to do is have some duct tape. You know, that's just a normal, something you might come in handy. You want to have a couple of sets of screwdrivers, like one size Phillips, a smaller Phillips, and at least one flathead. You can get these tarps at Dollar Tree for $1. They come in handy if you have to go under your car or work on something on the ground or the grass. You can put this tarp down and it'll stop you from getting like bugs or whatever, dirt from getting in the car. Everybody should have a tire plug kit, something like this. They work really well. And if you have a hole in your tire, you can use this. Granted, if you have a nail or screw in your tire and you see it, you don't pull it out, you could still drive with it. But if you're going to repair a flat that has a hole in it, this is something you want to get. And in that same note, you want to carry at least a 12-volt air compressor, something like this, where you could put the air in your tires. I have some electrical tape. You don't really need that if you have the duct tape, but I have some of that. Here's a lead bar I got from Home Depot. And what it's good for is when you're using the jack, like that jack over there, and it has those cranks on it, this will give you more leverage to get the tire off. The tires sometimes can be extremely hard to get off. Carry some twine, some wire, you know, or string. This is a really good unit to get. You can get these at Discount Auto or AutoZone. And what it is it's a battery terminal cleaner. If you ever have to clean the battery, this is something that will come in handy. Sometimes you just got to clean the battery and it'll start the car up. You won't have to worry about getting a jump. And then pick yourself up a cheap socket set, like from Harbor Freight or something. They're not too expensive and they'll come in handy. Leave it in the car. Always have like a towel or some kind to clean yourself off just in case. I carry a little gas can. I don't use it off at all, but just in case I have a gas can. Wire cutters. They come in handy to pull out screws and nails out of tires if you have to, and cut wires. Cheap pair of pliers. Another cheap pair of pliers. Jumper cables. The new cars is a scissor jack usually, and they don't work really well. You're going to be working hard to get those tires off. So the scissor jack is actually a pretty good investment because it's a lot heavier duty than the one that comes with the car. Keep a few bottles of water in there with it, maybe 2 or 3. If your antifreeze dries up, or if you need water for your radiator, you'll have at least some water you can drink or put into the car. Another thing you might want to carry as well is like a block of wood, like a thick block of wood that you could put the jack under. Sometimes you don't have enough height on the road to get the car up far enough to get the tire off. So I keep a block of wood with me. Okay, in the last minute I added a few new items. You probably want a box cutter knife like this. You could cut hoses or cables or whatever with a box knife like that. You definitely want a flashlight, and a decent one, no cheapo one. This one's pretty cool because it has a stand built into it, so you could stand it up, and if you have working on a tire, you could turn it on and you could see that it'll aim at the tire. This one has an advantage too because it has a flashing light. So if you're like on the side of the road and you don't want anybody to hit you, you can actually have it flash. So I recommend getting something like this. Costco sells these pretty cheaply. As I said before, string or wire. I actually would recommend putting some of this wire you can get from Dollar Tree. It's just some wire you could tie up like a muffler or whatever if you need to. So you might want to have some wire as well as some string. I reluctantly carry this in my car, even though I would probably never use it. This one's really old, it probably doesn't even work anymore, but this is Fix-A-Flat, and they sell newer versions of it. And if you're really desperate on the side of the road, you may want to get this. If you can't just blow up your tire with your compressor, you may actually need to get something like this. They're pretty cheap, and you can just leave it in the trunk. They're not good for your tire. Some of the older ones would ruin your rim, so the newer versions probably won't ruin your rim. And finally, at at Harbor Freight, I got this device, and it basically lets you test your alternator and battery. And it was pretty cheap. I'm saying like $5 or something, and it gives you the instructions on how to use it in the back. And it'll let you know the state of your charging system and your battery. So it's a pretty good device to have, just in case you want to check your battery. But that's about it. In your car, you'll be ready to handle any issues you might have on the road.